What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Stating the Obvious. It's been a minute. We're in the new year, 2022, but we're back and we're going to be more consistent this time, guys. I swear.
Don't make any promises we can't keep.
Look, Noah. We'll see. We'll see. But obviously, we are going to carry over our, whole shtick, which is stating something obvious. Let's start with Pranay. Are you prepared today, Pranay? Something obvious for us?
As of 5 minutes ago, I realized I didn't have anything. But then I realized another thing that I was thinking about earlier. And so this, I guess, is a question, Jit, and Cobb, I don't know, Noah, when's the last time you traveled internationally? But whenever you, I asked the Jit, let me ask you first. Whenever you go to India, which is worse, the jet lag going to India or the jet lag coming back to the US?
Jet lag going to India, I think.
This is the same with me. And same with a lot of people I know as well. And so I was like, oh, this is like some interesting thing. Like when I come back to the US, my jet lag is barely anything. When I go to India, it's always so much worse. So I searched this up. Apparently, it's actually this interesting phenomenon. I forgot the exact reasons why. But I think for most people, jet lag traveling from east to west is much easier to deal with. It's something along the lines of because you're adjusting to, like, the thing that you're adjusting to is easier to adjust to than it is when you are going from west to east.
Wait, so are you telling me if I went across the Pacific, that would be the opposite effect?
What do you mean?
Like, if I started in Dallas and went across the Pacific Ocean to India, that my jet lag would be worse coming back?
No, I don't think so, because then I think you cross, like, the zero. I don't know what that's called. Like, when it goes to zero to...
What, the international dateline?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know if that's how it works. I think it's probably something to do with, like, if the location's, like, closer to your starting location, going east or west.
Maybe.
What if it's on the exact opposite side of the world? What if it's the exact opposite side?
Well, then you're fucked either way.
Yeah, then maybe it's just, like, equally bad. I don't know. That's interesting. I always just assumed it's because...
Regardless, I know for me personally, going to India is much worse than coming back to the US.
Same.
I think it's just because you end up back home, right? Like when you're going to India, like sure, like it's home in a way because you're staying with family and stuff. But like when you're back at your house,
I think
in like Dallas or Pittsburgh, wherever,
it's then maybe one thing. I think the article like summary I read was something around the lines of like it's not 100% known, but the body may have greater difficulty like trying to advance our internal body clock rather than like delay the internal body clock, something like that.
Yeah, I think there's probably some reason. Science, these things. Moving on, Cobb. You have something obvious for us?
Yeah.
Hey? Year 2022?
Yeah. Pranay needs to learn more champions in League.
That is something pretty obvious.
Like
very obvious.
Anybody. PJ is such a one trick at Vel.
I feel like the one trick just changed from Vel to Galio now.
Yeah, changed overnight, literally.
I really don't know why. I played Vel again in another ranked game, like when I was trying to get the ranked 10 games, and I was not feeling this right now.
God, like everybody else on the class team is just in the chat trying to figure out somebody that Pranay can play, and it feels like we're all like teachers trying to like pair up the weird kid with no friends in like the next group project. Like we're like, oh, he could play this, but no, that doesn't work. Fuck, you can't play anything
except Galio.
Yeah.
But there's a chance that they ban Galio or pick Galio.
Okay.
Hey, my Shen was also pretty good. It's doing pretty good.
All right, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. But kidding. But it's good. You should learn more diversity. We love diversity over here at Stating the Obvious. We have 3 brown people in the nation, dude. For our token Asian person, Noah. Hi. With that, let's head over to our token Asian person, Noah. You have something obvious for us? This year.
Your wife is also your ex-girlfriend if you get married.
Yo,
shit,
yo, dude.
With a true obvious nature.
Everybody else is like coming out here with like some random ass shit.
this is like the content we need.
Yeah.
Like, hey, everyone, take note. This is what we should strive for here at Stating the Obvious Incorporated.
For a company?
Okay.
Technically, we have a copyright.
We do. You know, it's
Oh,
on
do we
it's on
actually?
Yeah, you get it when you sign up through
Shit.
the
Okay.
Spotify stuff.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So you know, let's strive. Noah, I'm loving the content from Noah.
Thank you. I mean, like, it's just like yeah. I mean, the only scenario where that doesn't happen is if like you have an arranged marriage, in which case, I mean, I guess sucks to be in that situation.
Yeah. Damn.
Speaking
That's true.
of arranged marriages, PJ.
I'm not.
What?
That's something.
How's the married life treating you today?
I am, just to confirm, I have not gotten an arranged marriage. The marriage that I went to, I know.
I was going
I
for
know
the
what you're
fact
saying.
that,
I know.
yeah, okay.
It's
okay.
a marriage. I know. So, I don't think we talked about this last podcast. Actually, did
We did not.
We probably
We did
mentioned
not.
that I was going to India at some point, right?
Yeah, we mentioned that you were going, but I don't know if we went into any amount of detail.
Yeah, so I went, and the reason why I went is for a marriage. This one was actually not arranged, so
Nice.
that's a thing.
Yeah.
In India, a non-arranged marriage? What?
Yeah, it's actually interesting. It was. I will say there was a big ruckus in our family in India because our family in India is fairly traditional, and this was between a Hindu and a Christian. And so at first, they were like, the Indian family felt pretty sketchy about it, but then they actually met the woman's the wife's side of the family, and they're like, wow, these are pretty
So
good.
Where's the wife's
you're-
side of?
You're on the groom side?
I'm on the groom side, yeah.
Honestly,
Okay.
that sounds
Okay,
like the setup for like a rom-com.
I'm pretty sure rom-coms like on this, but where's the wife's side of the family?
They are from Kerala. Cochin.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're from my place,
Yeah.
basically.
They're from the
Yeah.
So they must be the Christian ones.
Yeah, they are the Christian
Yeah,
ones.
yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Why didn't you go, Cobb? Like, come on.
Yeah, what the
I
fuck?
should
It's like,
know.
yeah.
I should know.
Renee went like for the marriage. Like, what? You think you're too good for that shit? Staying here in the United States?
Yeah.
That's cold.
I knew commenting. Yeah, I absolutely knew commenting. Like, yeah, I'm better at it.
Right.
All right, continue, Pranay. You have to.
So, whatchamacallit? I went to India. There's a lot of stuff that went on. This was the first marriage on the mother's side of the family, because this is the marriage of the eldest cousin, basically, on that side. It's also, I guess, the first marriage I went to that is, it's like a full marriage that I was very involved in. Interestingly enough, my role was actually kind of the translator between the bride's side and everyone else, basically, because there were two marriages. There was a Christian marriage and there was a Hindu marriage. The Hindu marriage was in the city where I stayed, where my grandparents live. Most of my mom's side of the family lives, which, they all speak Telugu, but the bride side speaks English fairly decently, so I basically, did the English to Telugu translations and vice versa.
Do you know what other language the bride side spoke?
Yeah, they speak Malayalam, but
Yo, PJ, you and I should have translated. I should have translated to English from Malayalam, and then you could translate my English to Telugu.
Yeah, I guess we could do that. But they also speak pretty fluent Hindi because they lived in North India for a long time. So they do that. Right now my cousin just came back. My cousin is in Canada. He's doing his MBA and he's an internship in Canada right now. So he just got back to Canada, and the bride will go to Canada whenever her visa stuff works out. But there was basically, other than the first half of my vacation was basically not vacation. First half of my trip was dedicated to the marriage stuff. And then I don't think obviously all of you guys have seen this. But I now have a bald head. Actually, it's not really that bald right now. My hair grew much faster than I expected it to be. It's more like, I'd say I have like half a centimeter of hair.
So you
like
shaved your hair.
Hairy bowling ball.
Yeah. A hairy ball.
So you sent us a picture of this, and it will definitely be on the Instagram. But why do you look so depressed in this picture? Like, you look so sad.
Yeah, so there are a couple things going on. Basically, okay, so as I guess the first overview is that what I was going to talk about is like the COVID safety around our consciousness of everyone around me. So, okay, so to be fair, the places I went to, a lot of the people, like the main city I was in, there weren't too many cases. There were still quite a few cases, but it wasn't like a lot. But that being said, like barely anyone was COVID conscious in any way whatsoever. So, this is a bit rough because me traveling internationally, and that also my sister, especially my sister, who was only there for 2 weeks, if she got COVID, for example, it would be very hard to come back to the U.S. and which is even more unfortunate because she would miss a lot of school because as soon as she came back, she would miss out a lot of school. So I was basically in a constant state of being on edge because no one was COVID conscious, and the place that we're going to, so the place that we go to like shave my head is this temple called Tirupati, which is a very famous temple, and where they do a lot of like this head shaving stuff. And so, I kind of there especially also barely anyone was COVID conscious. Basically, the reason why I went is because this is a whole other story. But the reason why I went is when I first was submitting applications for colleges, my mom basically made a prayer saying that if I got, she didn't tell me, she didn't notify me or anybody else, that if I got into a good college, then I would go to Tirupati and shave my head. And
that's
so
BS. You didn't make that prayer.
I didn't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what the fuck did the gods do for you? Come down to Carnegie Mellon and be like, yo, I know this Pranay guy, look, let me put in a letter of recommendation. He's got a really nice set of skills. You should really take him in. Come on.
Okay, exactly. And even the rest of our family also agrees with this too. They're all just this is some bullshit. He didn't do, you said this. He didn't even know that this was a thing.
Yeah, she should shave her head.
Yeah, regardless. She also did. She did it for a different reason some time back. But, but she kept on hounding me over it, and I was like, for 3 years, basically, I was like, okay. 3 years, obviously, I didn't go to college. I mean, I didn't go to India by then, but she's been hounding me. She's been hounding me about it for so long, and eventually, I was like, okay, you know what? Fine, I'll do it just this one time. And so we go there, and we're going to this place, and obviously, no one there is COVID conscious. I'm still on edge. The thing is, we made plans to go to this place since, we were, the marriage was, we didn't have much time to plan this trip, and we went right after the marriage. Since all that happened right before, we had to make last minute plans, and it's very hard to first of all get tickets to get go to this place, and then we didn't book a hotel or anything, so we'd have to do this entire trip in one day. But the thing is, after I shaved my head, I'm supposed to. We went 12 in the night. We got there at 5 a.m. and then we had to go up and we had to shave my head, and then after that I had to take a shower. But the issue is we didn't have a hotel, right? So we didn't have access to a legitimate restroom or a bathroom. And so I had to use the public bathrooms, which let me tell you.
Oh, man, that is not
like.
Oh my.
Yeah. Like, okay, so my dad growing up. Okay, like, so yeah, my dad growing up, he grew up like not super super poor, but like fairly poor, and so he, his what is the word I'm trying to talk about? His standard is not his standards aren't too high. He can deal with a lot of shit.
His standard of cleanliness.
Yeah, standard of cleanliness, I guess. He can deal with a lot of shit. But even this, I'm telling you, like, he could deal with this, but he would have a lot of trouble dealing with this, man. Because it was rough. It was one of the most rough things I've done. Like, the water there, it smelled like actual shit. I'm not even kidding you. I was worried that there was shit in the water.
It probably came from a river, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
That is like parasitic water.
Yeah, dude. Like, I'm be honest. I think you should probably get yourself checked for worms. Like, that is.
I was so concerned while I was doing it. You
definitely showered in shit water. If it makes you feel any better.
This is like without my glasses on. I felt very concerned. I feel like if I had my glasses on while I was doing all this stuff, I would just. I don't know what I would do. I really don't know. I truly don't know.
Yeah.
So
dude, I got two things really quick. Number one, you know where this is like kind of a side note, but you know where the hair from all these temples in like in India goes?
I actually did. I think I was researching this. I feel like they sell it, right?
Yeah. So what they do is they sell it, and the buyers are American, and they use the hair from all these Indian temples to make the weaves. For like, it's traditionally worn by like African American like women, right?
Oh really? Oh shit!
Like that is the hair that they're using.
Yo,
is Indian
African American women are gonna be wearing my hair.
That is the weirdest form of globalization.
Yeah, I mean, but they make a lot of money.
They make a ton of money.
Yeah,
they charge so much for it. But the other thing is, you think like India's not like COVID conscious, right? And you were scared about your sister going to school, right? Does your sister go to West yet?
No, she's a Jasper.
Okay, well, my sister's at West, right? And so she's a senior, so she goes to her classes and stuff for the new year and stuff. And there's like people in their classes being like, "Don't come near me. I'm COVID positive," without wearing a mask.
Bro, yeah, okay. I was going to come to that later. But I guess like long story short, like now I feel as if international travel is so much safer than domestic air travel.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because you're required to take a test.
Like for me coming back, I was required to take a test 24 hours before I took off, and obviously it has to be negative, and it's very difficult to, or at least it's more difficult to get COVID in that 24-hour time span than like, you know, traveling domestically where people don't give a shit.
Yeah. I still can't believe what Cobb just said about it. Like, that's crazy that people can still go to class.
I completely believe it.
With COVID and then, like, stay away.
Like, because of, like, governor's orders and stuff, they can't, like, force them to take a test or like, show vaccine status or, like, send them home or whatever. Like, it is all up to them what they do.
I fucking hate this state.
That's, like, so... Like, these people are actually ill, bro. Like, actually ill. Legitimately ill, dude. Oh, my days.
I mean, I completely believe it. Just, like, remembering my time at West and just, like, sitting across the table from like somebody who's just like hacking and coughing and just being like, "Yep, I'm getting the flu." Like,
yeah, but like you think how big a deal this is like to the world?
I don't know, man. I think most people don't care anymore. Like, I go outside to like run for groceries or whatever. I'm the only one in the store wearing a mask. Like, nobody else cares.
Yeah, I know there are people in like there's like hospital workers I know who just don't wear a mask and aren't getting vaccines anymore.
Yeah.
For what reason?
I mean, like at this point, I think
they don't think it's necessary.
I think people are probably like, I think it's probably not as bad now that like Omicron is dominant, but like, I mean, more people are gonna get sick, more people are gonna die. Like at this point, who cares?
A lot of people are just apathetic about it now. They've given their fucks and they're out of
it's hard not to be, because it's just like you become numb to it.
Yeah. I feel like I've like kind of gone there, but like
I mean you hear a new like variant every like month now.
Yeah,
and it's like
Delta
the first
Cron.
one, I
don't really
the
worry
first
about
one
it
was
too
like,
much.
oh, that's really tragic, but then like after that it's like
a tragedy to be certain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like at this point, I just put on my mask. I go out, like whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else there is to do. To be honest, it's just going to be an endemic. Like that's what like the majority of like the people are saying is their consensus. It's like it's just an endemic disease now.
I mean, yeah. I remember like at the very start of COVID, like all the way back, like 2 years ago now, like what was it, January, February of 2020?
Yeah, no, it was spring break 2020, so like March.
Yeah. Well, it was even earlier than that. It was before it hit the United States. Like when it first started like popping up in like Wuhan and like he was just like going around China. Like there was an article in the Atlantic where like the author was like, this is going to become endemic. Like it's going to go around the world. It's going to become endemic. And I was like, damn, like it's pretty wild, man. Like here I am 2 years later, like, man, I'm depressed. It was right.
Back to India.
Like, that's the thing is it's like diseases are like they either have one of two disadvantages. This is something I learned in like my tropical disease class, right? It's like diseases have two prongs basically for a good disease, a strong disease, whatever you want to call it. Like the deadliest disease has a very long longevity and doesn't go lytic automatically, like it stays in the body for a long time, highly infectious, and will kill you. Diseases like Ebola will never become endemic because they kill the people, their hosts, too quickly.
Cobb. I had
Murder Pog.
I actually had this question. This was my Cobb medical question.
Okay.
You know how viruses, the purpose is to, spread and reproduce, right?
Yeah.
So if their purpose is to reproduce, why do there exist viruses that just kill their hosts? Like, don't they want to continue living, can make their hosts continue living so they can keep on spreading?
Yeah, so there's no disease that's just like one virus is going to kill you, right? Like they're going to infect a singular virus. Like if you have one virus particle, just for the sake of simplicity, that goes into your body and then infects one cell, it's going to make thousands of copies using your cell's machinery, right? And then that cell's going to pop, basically explode because of the number of virus particles that are pushing on it from the inside. And then all of those thousands of virus particles are going to go to another cell and infect, right? And eventually that's going to kill the host. But there's no off mechanism because, like, people say viruses are living, people say viruses are not living, right? But, like, with bacteria and, like, parasites and stuff like that, there's some form of, like, control usually that they have. But with viruses, it's just, like, go. Like, it's just, like, make the most number of viruses. If we're infectious, hopefully we get onto someone else. But if the host dies kind of thing. Like with Ebola, right? Like Ebola is super, super infectious, right? Yeah. And it's super, super deadly. Like if you get Ebola, like you could die within the day, right? Which is like not a very long time if you're a virus that wants to like go to other hosts. But like if you're in contact with someone who has Ebola, more than likely you're going to get it.
I see.
So like it's very, very deadly and it's very, very, very like transmissible. Right? So usually you're not going to have a virus that's super, super transmissible, super, super deadly, and also like has a pretty long incubation period. Because otherwise that would just like kill everybody. Unless you're able to like isolate it somehow. Like there's no disease that has all three of those things.
What if it did?
Then
we need like a good countermeasure to that.
Somebody one Plague Inc.
Yeah, well. Yeah, but like basically it's just like they've evolved to do one of these three things like very, very well.
Nice.
Bro, it's fine. Just cleanse it, bro.
QSS.
QSS.
What is the difference between cleanse and QSS?
Cleanse removes just like regular CC. QSS removes like everything, like suppression. QSS will take you out of Mordekaiser ult.
That's so. What? Why is an item better than a summer spell?
Well,
because you have to buy it. Like, you have to spend money on it.
Yeah.
I feel like sums are just so OP.
It'd be so OP to just take cleanse and then make Skarner useless champ, or Warwick useless champ, or Mordekaiser useless champ.
Or Malzahar.
Oh yeah, Malzahar too.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be too mad about Malzahar being useless. Fuck that champ.
Yeah, but he's from the Void, so PJ already has a tendency to like him.
I don't know. I mean,
The Void
would
is a
you
nice
play
place.
Malzahar?
We still haven't done Void Cop. I would. He's from the Void.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that was a super long tangent.
That was mega long tangent.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
All right, what's next up on the list? New Year's Eve? I mean, wait.
No.
I still, we're still on the India trip. We're still on the India trip.
There's no list. Wait, what are you talking about, Noah? This is all, we're just rethinking all of this at the moment.
I don't care. I don't get paid enough to act like we're not scripting this.
Okay, well.
Oh, you want to talk about Indian Netflix? Go do it.
Oh yeah, shit. That's the first thing I'm gonna talk about. So, because Omicron cases, they're making curfews in a lot of countries. A lot of the states. So the state I went to before I left for the U.S. the city I went to is a city called Bangalore, and they had a curfew over the weekends. And something funny I just thought was, like, even though it was a curfew over the weekends and after 10 p.m., like, this still obviously did not stop people from just, like, going about their daily things. And so on this one street, there was, like, a big blockade that they did to stop people, from going in cars or scooties or motorcycles or whatever the hell. Right? So to discourage them from going about their daily day-to-days. But because they made this blockade, there was just like a new line of traffic that basically was on the sidewalk around the blockade. So they just had a bunch of scooties. Like, the sidewalk is also elevated like half a foot above the ground. So people had to like push their scooties onto the thing and then like go on that sidewalk and then jump back down. Man, it was the funniest thing. One of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Speaking of Bangalore, I have a story about that city. So obviously, like, the police department there is not. It's not.
I mean, I haven't heard about it, but yeah, sure, it probably isn't.
Yeah, they're not very ethical. Let's just say.
Okay.
Right. So there's this one time back
you
in
can, you can just say they're corrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do to you? I was just like, they're not super ethical.
Yeah. Okay. They're corrupt. They're so corrupt. They take bribes for everything. That's basically how you get anything done. Right?
Thank you, God.
Just let it all
Okay, but anyway,
out.
but this is back in like the 80s and 90s. My uncle was there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's on his motorcycle coming back home, and he sees this guy who's been impaled by some object, by some pipe or something on the side of the road, right?
Oh shit.
And this guy's like bleeding out. So he's like, okay, I have to take this guy to the hospital. So his brother's on the bike with him. He's like, no, don't take this guy to the hospital. Like, this is a bad decision. Just let him bleed out there. Call someone and let him come, because we're not dealing with that, right?
Okay.
But he's like, no, I must do this because my uncle's from the U.S., right?
Okay,
So,
yeah.
Okay, so he takes him to the hospital and he signs off for him, right? Saying, yes, I brought this guy, right?
Yeah.
Then he goes home, right? Okay, no big deal. This guy is in the hospital, whatever.
Yeah.
They go home. The next day, the cops show up at the door. And they're like, you brought this guy in, right?
Did you kill him?
And he's like, yeah, I brought this guy in. And they're like, yeah, he died in the hospital and we're going to try you for murder.
What the hell?
He's like, no, I didn't kill this guy. I just found him on the side of the road. And they're like, no, we don't care. We need someone to hold accountable. And your name's signed there. We're taking you into for murder. So they take him in. And then eventually his dad talks to the chief of police. And he's like, look, he did not do this. You are very clearly... let's just say, I mean, at the time, he was pretty powerful. My uncle's dad,
Powerful
right?
shit. Okay, see.
Wait, what do you do?
He owned a pretty strong, real estate business around that area. So he was like a powerful dude. So he's like, look, he did not do this. I know he didn't. I know you're just trying to put the blame on someone. So I will not do any work in this city anymore if you try him for this. And I will still get him out.
Oh shit.
So then he's like, yeah, okay, you're free to go. This isn't a murder case. We just found the guy on the side of the road.
What the hell?
So that's the way justice works in India.
I'll be honest, I would have left the guy on the side of the road.
Yeah.
I know you would. Honestly, that's the right call.
All right, okay, would anyone here like have taken him to the hospital?
I would have. What I would have done is
I would have at least
called the ambulance.
At least
Yeah.
But I would not.
But would anyone here have taken them to the hospital?
If it was in the city that my grandparents like live in, my mom's side grandparents.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about in Bangalore.
In Bangalore, I have no connections, so I do not speak the language.
I don't care if it's in Plano. If I find some guy impaled on the pipe, I'm calling 911 and leaving.
Yeah, like, I mean, if it was in like the U.S., I would call 911 and like do some emergency procedure or something.
Yeah, actually, I think especially in the U.S., I would call 911 because I don't think I would be able to take him faster to the hospital than the ambulance.
Than the ambulance, no way. Plus, you're like you're protected by like. I mean, you're protected by Good Samaritan law here.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and like here, you could like stop bleeding or something, and like people would like, they're not going to try you for murder.
Yeah, they're going to try you for murder.
Yeah, but dude, that city's wild. That city's like the Wild West. Honestly.
I will say
like, there are no rules.
My data in Bangalore was very good. It was very, very good. Oh, we here we're on this plan called Google Fi, which I just realized the power of. So for no extra cost, like it costs the same as if it was here than it is internationally anywhere. But like I could my dad changed our plan to unlimited data. So in any country, anywhere in the world which they have service, Google Fi service, I get free data and free texting, and then my calls are only 20 cents per minute.
Are we getting paid for this ad for Google Fi?
We're not, but we've done many ads for many companies.
That's true.
Yeah, have you guys heard about Raid Shadow Legends?
Have you guys actually ever played it?
No.
I haven't either. I was just curious. Yeah.
Can you even imagine?
I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like those games are just like a waste of time.
I only let one game ruin my life, and that's League of Legends, all right?
Absolutely true.
I'm loyal, dude. I'm loyal as hell.
You know what I realized? It's been a long time since we've played Valorant.
Yeah.
I uninstalled Valorant, I think.
Oh yeah, I remember. I tried to get Jit to play it once, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'm
Visma just didn't want to play Valorant. Like, I'd be like, "Hey, let's go play Valorant." He'd be like, "Nah."
True. But hey, Noah, never forget that promo game where you were trying to get to plat. I carried the shit out of that game as Reyna. Don't forget.
Yeah, I mean, like, you could have done more of that if you just like played.
No, dude, I was so bad. Sometimes I was literally smurfing in pistol, like I was just taking a piss on all these players. And other times, dude, I was just fucking getting pissed on permanently.
Well, that's kind of Valorant for you.
Okay. Well,
yeah, anyway.
I have the last thing I want to talk about my Mansion trip.
Oh my god.
So you know how Netflix changes based on what country you are?
Yes, everyone knows that.
We all know.
Let me fucking tell you, the Indian Netflix is the most busted thing I've seen in my life.
It's pretty OP.
I've forgotten everything that they have. They have at least everything they have in the US. And they have at least everything they have in the US. But on top of this, they also have movies like Arrival, where you can't see anywhere else. They have all of the Spider-Man movies, like every single one, except for the most recent one.
The best one.
What?
The best Spider-Man movie.
True.
Yeah, well, they're probably gonna get it soon.
Actually true also.
But it's just incredible, all the stuff they have.
They have a lot of television.
I was like,
I remember
holy fuck.
I went to India one summer and I was like, wow, India Netflix is some crack energy. And I was like, for the rest of my life, I came back to the United States. I was like, I need to get a VPN. Like, we need to go back.
Yeah, what's the NordVPN?
NordVPN. What would be our code? Yeah. Would our code be like what?
STO pod.
Stow pod? I don't know. STO pod?
Probably.
Stop pod.
Use the code STOPPOD for
15% off on a
2 months free.
2 months free on a 3-year plan.
Dude. We better get.
Oh
hey,
no,
we're getting some sponsorships
Indian Office
this year.
did have Indian Netflix still had The Office.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Indian Netflix doesn't give a fuck about any of your rights, about any of who owns what, where.
What, Brooklyn 99? Is that what it is?
Yeah, they have Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Dude, they just don't care, dude. They're just like, yeah, Peacock, fuck you. HBO Max, fuck you, dude. They go hard.
I mean, I kind of wonder, like, do Peacock and like HBO Max even have like localization in India, or?
I have not heard of it. If they do,
Who even knows?
I mean, like, I feel like that could be the reason. Is like the reason why they have all these movies and shows is because like other streaming services haven't expanded and haven't like cut up the market.
Probably they have. Their Disney Plus is called Disney Hotstar.
What the fuck?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, Hotstar is like
it's like a huge
like
company
a previous thing. Yeah. Did you ever watch like Pogo, Brene?
I used to I didn't this time. Obviously, when I was
as
smaller,
like a kid,
I
like as a kid, yeah. So many.
Have you watched Doraemon? You watched Doraemon?
Oh yeah, I watched Doraemon. Yeah. That shit, dude. It's not even like brown.
you know Keith Batowski?
I know. I love Keith Batowski.
I've watched that show so much in India. When I heard it for the first time in English, the voices sounded so foreign to me.
You're just like, what?
I was like, what? Yeah. This is the fucking voice now? Oh god.
That was a great show.
Okay.
Cobb, what have you been trying to say for the past 10 years?
Let's say Netflix, it took them like something like 9 years to get 70 million subscribers. It took Disney Plus 11 months.
But Netflix also like built the industry, kind of.
I mean,
like,
also Disney's just way bigger than Netflix.
I will say, like, I underestimated
put a lot of the groundwork
until I had access to Disney Plus. I underestimated the enjoyment I would get out of watching all these animated movies.
Wait, what animated movies?
Luca.
Luca. Even just like Ice Age, and just any animated movie, and it's like any Disney movie. It's just
they have
so much enjoyment.
They have a new Ice Age that's coming to Disney Plus at the end of the month.
Really? What the fuck? Another one? Okay, I downloaded all the Ice Ages to watch over the entire trip. Starting with Ice Age 2, the quality Ice Age 1 is the peak. It's the peak.
Yeah.
Then you go to the next Ice Age and it's just jack shit. It's like, what the fuck? Except for Dawn of Dinosaurs. Dawn of Dinosaurs is pretty cool.
Yeah, that one was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Everything else, I had no fucking clue what was going on.
What about the ship one? Whatever the ship one where he fought the giant monkey.
Oh, the pirate one?
Yeah, that one was pretty decent.
That was pretty good too. That is decent. But like for me, my order goes number 1, number 2, or number 1, number 3, and the rest are kind of like they're there.
Yeah, the new one is where they go back to the dinosaur place. So.
Really? What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember seeing an advertisement for this. I think. A trailer. I always see advertisement.
I exclusively just watch Marvel shows on Disney Plus. Like,
have you finished all of them?
Yeah, I have all the finished.
I have not finished WandaVision yet. Still working through that, but yeah.
Wait, Disney Plus has Phineas, like all of Phineas?
Yeah, it has all.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
rip the rest of my brain. The 3 days that remain. Just pure Phineas and Ferb.
Dude, Phineas and Ferb was peak TV.
It's really peak TV.
Yeah, it was really good.
It's just amazing
for every single episode.
Oh yeah, and they slap too. Like the songs were.
Yeah, dude. I love the library one with the drummer when he's getting the band back together.
I ain't got rhythm.
I ain't got rhythm. Okay, we're not gonna get into
it's funny to me like how like they made like SIMP scrolls up in pants and now simp has an entirely different meaning.
that one is always a bit humorous. Yes. Yeah. Wow. We have advertised so many different things in this episode, guys.
They received no money, no compensation whatsoever.
No, not even a little. Not even like a cent.
Yeah.
Half a cent. A quarter of a cent. A cent of a cent.
Percent of a percent. Yep.
All right. Anyways, let's talk about 2022, guys. It's the new year. I know we're like 15 days already into the new year recording this, but it's still January. We're not too late. So what are some things that you guys are like looking forward to do or that you want to accomplish for yourself in the next year?
Okay.
Nothing. I don't make New Year's resolutions.
It doesn't have to be a New Year's resolution. It just has to be something like you'd like to do.
Nothing.
It just that happens to maybe coincide with said New Year.
Nothing. Years are meaningless.
All
right. Rip years.
Look, in my opinion, like the only need to like keep track of like the year is for like birthdays, because you got to know like at what age you have to start paying taxes and shit, and that's about it. I don't give a shit about the weather. I'm not a farmer.
Fair enough.
Farmers.
Yeah, they need to keep track of the New Year's.
Yeah.
Okay.
The harvest.
So for me, I also do not have any like quote unquote New Year's resolutions. I have like new semester resolutions, basically.
Okay.
Like going into the new semester, what is some stuff I want to do?
Yeah. Same sort of.
Yeah. So it's the first thing that was on my plan. It's like getting very like consistent with like meal prepping / cooking. Because I feel like in the beginning semester, I'm like on top of my shit, and then either I get sick or like my knee goes to shit or something happens, and then after that, I just like fall to shambles. And when I mean meal prepping, I mean basically like making sure like it like in a larger scale, just making sure I eat like breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, rather than and like not skipping because I don't have time to cook or I don't have time to do some shit.
Honestly, like cooking like a huge batch of like stew or soup and just freezing it feels so good, because I'm just like thinking like, man, I put like $20 into this and it's gonna like feed me for a month.
Yeah, you see, like I can.
What? How big are your stews, bro? What?
They're big.
See, I have done not monster-long things. Like I've made like my classic is a massive batch of turkey chili, but I guess that's the reason why I don't eat it that much anymore, is because I just get so sick and tired of food very quickly, and so it is very that is why it makes it hard for me to meal prep for like long. Like efficiently, but ideally I found a way. I've like written down all the different things I can do, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner now, and I'm just going to like every week at the beginning of the week I'm going to plan out what I need to make for the rest of the week, and then I'm just going to like buy groceries just for that week. So I have a system in mind that is like it's like the biggest thing. All the other stuff I feel like comes secondary. I remember reading or watching or something where they're like, you should just try to focus on one thing at a time, one big thing at a time, I guess. And so that is my big thing.
Telling you right now, beef stew, curry, both are just so good, because I can eat that shit and never get tired of it, and it's also so cheap to make.
I wish I could do that, man. I can't. It just can't.
I mean, just like cook like 3 pots of shit and just rotate it.
I don't know what's wrong.
Let me like hold on. So are you like your goal is to like consistently meal prep? So what does that mean? Is that like at the beginning of every week, or like
so it means
or
like
just like tracking your meals, or like what?
I guess it's like 2 parts. The first part is like planning what I'm going to be eating so that I know, and then getting groceries, and then doing all this, preparing everything I can ahead of time over the weekend. So I have to put minimal work on myself through the week. So for example, like if I said like this week I'm going to do like for lunch, for most of the week I'm just going to do like a different type of protein with like some dirty rice, for example. So like over the weekend I could just like make a big batch of dirty rice, which maybe include like beans and like rice and like some spices, some onions or some shit. And then like on each specific day I can just make a thing of salmon, a thing of chicken, like on that given day. So that I don't have to, which takes much less time than having to make everything all over again.
What kind of proteins do you
usually
like to eat?
Usually shrimp, fish, chicken.
This is genuinely like the part that sucks about being vegetarian, is like it's much harder to get protein consistently.
Fair enough. I mean, you're kind of restricted like
nuts.
Tofu,
you got nuts.
It's like nuts and like
beans, I guess.
like chickpeas and stuff like that. Is like largely where
Yeah.
I have to get like protein from, which is like not.
It's
Great.
not even. Yeah, it's
I mean,
not even
it's
as
not-
much.
it's not
It's not
bad.
as much protein. Also, as like compared, like
I have to
in terms
eat
of
a
like
lot of
ounce
it.
per ounce. Yeah, you have to eat like a lot.
Yeah.
Is like whey protein
Yeah.
vegetarian? I feel like it is.
I
It's
think
not
it is.
vegan, but like
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure
it's
it comes from
vegetarian.
like. I thought it came from like wheat.
It's a dairy product. No, whey?
Oh yeah, no, not wheat. Yeah,
Whey
that's
protein,
what I
not
thought.
wheat protein.
No, that's what I mean. Dairy. I meant dairy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have like protein shakes and stuff because I need to get
Yeah.
protein somehow.
Gotta get those
This
gains.
is also part of like my thing for the. Is that your only thing, Renee? Or
That was like the
are
main
you-
thing. Like at the second, I guess the secondary thing that, was, it kind of affects like consistently working out, all those things. Like, so I feel like I set a goal last summer to be able to consistently work out, and I proved to myself that I could consistently work out, and so that is the thing I can keep in touch with fairly easily. The secondary thing is just like I did this long time ago, but like in my calendar be very detailed, in the sense like I will like day to day like block out time saying I'm going to work on this assignment at this time, and maybe in addition to just classes, like specifically put what I'm going to work on. I did it a long time ago, did not work out. I'm going to try that again.
I found that's like super difficult because it's hard to say how much time you're gonna have to spend on one thing, because sometimes for one class this thing takes like 9 years longer than it should than you thought it would, and for some other class you get this assignment, you're like, oh, this will take me an hour, and you finish it in like 10 minutes and you're like, okay.
So that is one thing I want to experiment again, so we will see how that goes. I think now I just have a better idea of how long I will actually take to do shit.
New year, new me, right?
Yeah. I mean,
actually, I completely forgot to also mention this, but I figure now I will. I have gotten a haircut as well, not like Pranay, but I used to have really, really long hair. Grew it out all since when did quarantine start? March 2020.
Something like that.
Yeah. So I hadn't cut my hair since then, all the way up until December 27th or 28th of last year. So within the last couple weeks, I got rid of my long hair.
Yeah. How does it feel?
That was the experience. There's a lot of good things. I kind of miss it. Sometimes I'm just like, my long hair, I can't style it like Akshan anymore. So sad. But also it's nice waking up.
Now you're cyberpop, so
yeah, now I'm just cyberpop Akshan. But now it's nice waking up and there's not just hair in your face and you're just like, why? And it requires a lot less work to take care of it and keep it.
I haven't had long hair in a long ass time, but I still have a head tilt I developed just from having long hair. Because I tilt my head to one side to keep the hair out of my face, and I still do that. I have to constantly remind myself to keep my head on an even keel.
I think it's because of the way you had parted your hair. My hair I think was pretty even. I don't think I have a head tilt or anything, but I don't know. I also cut it because I felt like it wasn't super healthy. I will admit I didn't do as good a job of taking care of it as it was growing out as I should have, because also I'm a dude. I don't know the first thing about taking care of hair. So
also just in general, people view short hair as more professional. Whether that's good or not, it's true.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I agree. So, I figured New Year is coming. We can just cut hair, move on.
All right, Cobb. New year,
new me.
Are you planning on doing any operations this year?
I do have to do a Cato.
Cato.
Yeah, Cato is probably already dead.
Are you also taking the Mcat this year? Yes.
Yeah, in a couple weeks. So.
Oh, in a couple weeks.
Oh, damn.
I mean, only the first time. It's kind of like an SAT, where if you don't like your score, you can retake it.
So what's actually on the Mcat?
So it's 4 different sections. One's biology, biochem. One's a physics. One's a analytical, reading comprehension kind of thing.
Is there an essay?
No, I don't believe there's an essay. It's just all multiple choice.
What was the last section though?
The last section was a chem.
Oh, okay, just
go
breakdown.
Yeah.
Fun.
So,
is it? There's also like I assume a lot of math and stuff with like you get like graphing calculator. You gotta go and
yeah, but it's not very math. It's like more like
I mean, but isn't I feel like it's kind of like at least for chem stuff like molar mass
yeah,
and like all
for
that
chem
garbage.
and like physics there is, but it's like it's not very complicated math, if that makes sense. Like I'm not doing calculus on this test.
Then why do people like say like, oh, MCAT is like super hard, like, you know?
Because
blah,
it's
blah.
basically it's either you know it or you don't.
That's
there's
fair.
no like guess.
There's
Okay.
not very many like there's not much room for guessing. Like maybe you can eliminate like one, even to like eliminate one answer choice, like you kind of have to have some idea of what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Well, good luck, Cobb,
Yeah,
If
thank
you
with that.
wait, hold on. So if you get like a high enough score on the MCAT, like, is that it? Like,
You're good.
Yeah, then I don't have to take it again.
Huh.
It's
No, but like,
very,
what does
very
it
similar
mean?
to SAT.
What does it mean for like the grander scheme of like med school and stuff?
Oh, that means I mean, it's almost like the
is it
standard.
just like is it almost just like if your score is above this, we're just admitting you, or
no,
do they?
no. It's almost like the standard at this point where you need a good GPA and a good score. Like, it's like the other stuff that determines whether you get in or not.
so what is a good score on the MCAT?
Anything above like a 520,
Out of what?
What is it out of?
528.
Damn. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what
Yeah.
is the margin of error? Like, how many questions do you miss? Like, how many
It
missions
depends
can
on
you
the
miss?
section. Depends on the section.
What is the average MCAT score?
I don't know, like
Anyone
average
know?
across like everybody, but like
Can we get a quick Google search from anyone?
yeah, because they're like depending on the school you go to, like obviously, like their scores are much different. you
Isn't
know?
there like a national, like, you know how the SATs, like the
Yeah, I'm
average
sure there is.
SAT
I don't know what the
Average MCAT score for a student admitted to an MD program is between 510 and 511. Well, this is from like
yeah.
a couple of years ago, so I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe
there's also the Soc Psych section. I forgot about that section.
huh?
The
But
what
that's
section?
like the easiest section.
Social studies?
No, like psychology, social.
Oh,
issues.
psychology. I was just like social studies. Like, what? What are they doing
They
here?
call
on
it the psych soc section because there's like sociology and psychology on that.
So apparently most people get like a 500, and like the lower bound is like 470, upper bound is 528.
Yeah, I remember the lower bound is pretty high.
Kind of weird,
Yeah,
but
I mean, because if you're taking this, like, you better have taken the classes already.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. Crazy, dude.
Yeah,
All right.
like
Anything else, Cobb?
get good grades, do
Yeah.
good things,
Yes, just
post
focus up.
on the podcast.
Focus up. Focus up. I will say
Yeah.
my things are very similar to Brené's things. So I'm not actually like meal prepping properly, but like just dieting correctly because I feel like I need to eat healthier. I also started like binge watching like these YouTube videos because I have started exercising. Yay!
Very nice. Do you guys prefer, like, you guys were on the meal plan at one point, right?
School meal plan, yeah.
Yeah. Do you prefer the meal plan or do you prefer cooking at home? Regardless of price, like, ignore price in the equation.
Like, taste-wise, I prefer my own food, but, like, it's just effort, man, sometimes.
Easy. It's
Yeah.
about the effort and the time.
True.
Yeah, it's just so much more convenient to just go there and like have them do everything and clean up and stuff. Like,
Yeah, it's so it saves a lot of time, but I also think there is like a nice amount of like learning and like self-discipline that you gain from
I think I will say,
cooking yourself
all around,
and
I prefer doing it myself just because,
all that.
like, it is, like, I find a lot of motivation. Like, if I have a shit ton of work, for example, and I'm feeling very tired, like, eating food that I made myself, like, that I find tastier, is more motivating to me than, like, eating some random shit that they've given me.
Okay, so do you guys consider yourselves like good cooks?
No.
I consider mine to
Right.
be pretty decent.
I think like I can cook, like I can follow a recipe, but like I don't know what you're like defining as like a good cook. Like I, can't be like inventive.
It's like pretty personal. It's just like, do you ever make food and you're like, damn, this is pretty good?
I mean, I have. Yeah. Is just my own opinion of myself?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, like in that case, like you're a good cook. Like I don't know, it's not like you're cooking for a crowd.
I'm good at everything.
Yeah.
I'm a good doctor, guys, because I really believe it. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest though, Jet's cooking, he probably just goes outside and plucks some grass, puts it on the plate, sprinkles some ketchup, you know.
Put some ketchup. Well, actually,
have you
now,
tried that ketchup?
I tried it. Look. Well, one day I cooked a bunch of potatoes.
Yeah.
And like fries and stuff, and I was like, "This is the time." And so I got a regular thing of ketchup that was already in the fridge. That was the control group, and then we had the other ketchups. My sister actually had bought a hot and sweet like Maggie kind of brand ketchup as well. So I had like 4 ketchups.
Very nice.
And one of them was the control group of ketchups. All of them, I will say, pretty good. Some of them had like different textures. The veggie one actually, Pranay, wasn't bad. It was actually pretty decent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what we thought. We thought the veggie one was either going to be really good or really bad.
Yeah. How's the curry ketchup?
Yeah, I think the curry ketchup's very good.
Very nice.
Its consistency was like not what you'd expect of a ketchup. It was obviously more like a curry, but like it was like spice. So yeah,
Very nice.
That's enough for me. Yeah, dude, ketchup experience. If people out there, if you're listening to this and you haven't had ketchup, go have some ketchup.
Don't know
And if you're
anybody
ever
that
hungry-
hasn't had ketchup, but okay.
If you're ever hungry and in need of a meal, just have some ketchup. It's
Just
filling, I
right
swear.
out of the bottle, just chugging it.
One I remember Cobb put in like a soda bottle. You put some ketchup in it, and I like, sucked it through a straw.
Good lord.
Okay. It was so. Oh god, dude.
I mean, it was either that or you don't eat anything.
Yeah. I'm trying to not. I'm not gonna just eat ketchup though. Now I'm gonna eat like healthy.
Well, hopefully
things.
not. You have other
You
options.
keep saying you're going to start eating healthy things. Give me some examples.
Like quinoa. A lot of just protein. I don't. The thing that I'm trying to figure out is like when you're like lifting or like you're trying to get to like your ideal like body shape type whatever is like there's like cutting and then there's like bulking and then there's like main gaining and you got to do like certain things to get lean and you got to like count these calories and have like a caloric deficit.
I think you're doing it like way too complex.
I've also done a decent amount of research about this, and what I have found works for me is bulking first, which means just like not counting, just making sure I'm eating a ton of shit, and that which is usually doable over the summers because then I can just be like, mother, cook me food. And
mood, absolute mood, yeah.
I'm a big boy now. Give me more food.
And then I can just eat a shit ton. Whereas if I was doing it myself, I'd have to like cook a bunch of it for myself, which I might actually have to end up doing over this summer because I will be, even though I will still be staying in Pittsburgh.
I think it's pretty simple. You want to gain weight, you eat food. If you want to lose weight, you don't eat food.
I mean, if you want to cut, you just make sure you're in caloric deficit, but make sure you are still working out and that you are getting enough protein.
Yeah, but I feel like sometimes people, I think it's called like yo-yoing or whatever, but you kind of just go between like bulking, cutting, and you never really end up where you want to. I watched this one video of this one dude who was like, what he does to get into caloric deficit, instead of just like eating less, he'll just do hella cardio every day to get like the 500 calories less for the caloric deficit. And so on top of the weightlifting. And this dude looks fucking cracked. So I was just like, maybe this is the way. But I also don't know how much time I have to spend to just sit.
I think I've come to peace with myself knowing that I do not think I can achieve like the body shape I want in college. I just don't think it is possible to balance all these things.
I'll be honest, I'm kind of glad. I just had an image of like the Giga Chad meme, but like with Pranay's face, and it scares me. It frightens me on like an existential level.
Do you know what the most anabolic, or one of the most anabolic hormones in your body is?
What does anabolic mean?
It means
that's also I said what without even knowing what the hell you're talking about.
Okay, so there's like, you can classify your hormones into 2 categories. Generally, I'm making a lot of generalizations here, but catabolic and anabolic. Catabolic means break stuff down. Anabolic means build stuff up.
Okay.
So like if you're breaking down molecules for energy, that's catabolic. It's a catabolic reaction. But if you're like building stuff, like building muscle, that's an anabolic reaction.
Okay.
Okay. So one of the most anabolic hormones in your body is insulin. So if you eat a very sugar heavy meal, you have a lot of insulin in your bloodstream. That's a time to work out if you want to build muscle, because you have a lot of insulin going into those kind of cells, and it promotes body growth. Like a lot of bodybuilders inject insulin into their muscles before working out.
It's kind of weird.
I wouldn't recommend injecting insulin because that's not very healthy. But like, if you eat a very like sugar heavy meal or carb heavy meal, what?
If you have diabetes.
Well, now you're in a deficit of insulin for either you're not producing enough or your body can't read the insulin.
If you have diabetes and you want to get jacked,
I mean, you gotta decide how much you want it.
You have to just like OD on insulin and then work out.
So like some people, like this type 1, type 2, right? Some people can't produce insulin, and so them taking the insulin like that solved the problem. Some people produce enough insulin, but their body can't interpret the signal. Like the signal cascade is wrong. That's a much bigger problem because it doesn't matter how much insulin you put in, like the body's not reading it right.
I like your words, funny man.
Yep, definitely know what you're talking about.
That's some science with Bob.
Yeah. PJ's gonna inject insulin right into his brain to make it the biggest brain possible. Huh?
Just a jacked brain.
And then he'll flash auto it as it all comes. Don't worry, guys.
What if that is the most optimal thing to do?
The 5-head
It wasn't.
The 5-head move.
Like Noah has PTSD from that playing PJ.
It was legitimately just like one of the worst things that ever happened to me in League. like
we were winning that Clash game. We were winning
games.
Wait, that was a Clash game?
Yes,
final.
Yeah.
we were winning too.
We were about to like win the whole thing.
It was also World's Clash, so you get hella rewards.
Yeah.
It was so depressing. Like, just seeing Pranay throw out like QWE, and like I just feel like at that point, like I'm feeling good, right? Like I'm just like my emotions, my mood is like pretty nice.
You took a good trade.
Like, yeah, we took a good trade. I'm like literally telling him like, all right, good trade. Now back off. As I'm saying that, Pranay's like, we go Noah, and it's just.
Myself saying that.
It's a Mr. Incredibles meme. Like, I'm telling you right now, like just like watching him like flash in and try to like smack him with his little noodly appendages. Like,
wait, no,
the one with the music.
Holy shit! I love those memes so much. Those memes, especially when it gets to the one where it's the whale sounds, that just kills me every time, man.
Oh, you made me whale noise. You put that into my life, and I want you to know that.
Oh god, those memes are amazing. They're so good.
I love how PJ's focused on the meme and making himself laugh when Noah's like telling this tragic story about how Pranay screwed up so bad.
Oh god.
You know, like I've never been into a war zone. I've never seen like actual death, but I like to feel like I have some kinship with the soldiers out there who've been through the battlefields.
Yeah, I mean, your soul died a little bit on that day.
I'm never gonna be the same. I'm a changed man.
Yeah. Well, now you have actually a very good support, so.
Yeah, thank God. We put Pranay into mid lane.
Amazing.
Speaking of Clash, we're doing Clash tonight.
Yeah, okay, so I think we should probably explain it a little bit. For those of you who do not play League, League
First
of Legends.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Don't stray. Second of all, Clash is sort of like a mini tournament that is set up within the game where, you form a team with like friends or just like people, and you compete. And so you play in like a series of games, and if you win, you get a lot of rewards like skins and other cool stuff.
It's the amateur bowling league of our time.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's like it's like a more competitive mode, so there's some more stakes involved.
Yeah, I mean, like you kind of just show up with your friends. You're like, yeah, we could win this, and then you don't.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a nice like you kind of get to simulate like what maybe pro play is like, but without any of the good things.
The fame, the money, the power,
the skill. So
being constantly surrounded by Koreans.
But it's fun. It's a fun time, and you get to chill with the boys.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing tonight.
This class especially, we've been taking it more serious than the others, and we haven't practiced.
Look, we haven't won a class so far, but that's gonna change.
That's gonna change. Look, next episode, guys.
Yeah.
We'll have some news.
Yeah, we'll be coming back as like the
listeners.
2022 Forge Cup champions.
True. Updates to be seen.
Yeah.
It'll either be a really good story about how we just like dominated everybody, or we'll just
we lost the first game.
I was gonna say how we'll just be roasting Pranay the entire time, but
hey, you never know. Any one of us could run it down. One of us could run it down. Who's it gonna be? We don't know yet.
It's gonna be Pranay, but any one of us could run it down.
Dude, I'm jungling, dude. I'm scared. It's fine.
Anyways, but I will say I feel much more confident in this clash than any clash before.
Yeah, we've prepped. We've done our
homework,
due diligence.
We've done our homework.
Yeah.
Well,
it's fine. Speaking of homework, we're gonna start getting some of that soon. We're all heading back to school. I know my classes start on the 18th online for the first 2 weeks, and
I think
then
all
hopefully
of us start on the 18th.
Yep.
In person.
Yeah, also online 2 weeks.
Yep.
Oh, that's interesting. We were so my school thought of doing online for 2 weeks, but they're like, nah.
Is UT doing it?
They have the option. They can like choose whether to do online or not.
Oh, okay, cool.
So my school basically, they were like, there are very high cases, and the highest, even before people have really gotten back, like they have the highest number of cases, but they're like, we just want to ride out the highest peak and just bring everybody back. So, and I will tell you, like, nobody is COVID conscious on campus. Like, nobody.
That's kind of how these things go.
It just happens.
We're heading back anyways, so should be interesting. I think we mentioned some of the classes. I know Cobb and I mentioned some of the classes we're going to be taking.
I think PJ did too. I think this is the first time that like Puck, me, and Pranay are all TAing. Are you TAing, Joe?
I'm not TAing any classes.
Puck is not TAing.
Oh, rip! He didn't get it.
Yeah, he did not get it.
Rip.
Tragic.
So then it's just me and PJ who are TAing.
Yeah.
Yep.
But some interesting classes, some interesting TA activities out here. Dude, it's gonna be so tragic. I have to do improv and vocal instruction both online for the first 2 weeks. You can, but it's just not as fun.
How the fuck do you do improv online?
Yeah,
improv is like the scenes you do. It's more about like what you say now and like the conversations you have than it is about like the physical, sort of presence you have.
Physicality.
I remember when like
physicality.
So if you guys don't know, like Baylor's like a theater program is like very, very solid, right? They're like one of the top in the nation. I don't know this, but they are, right? And during like the height of the pandemic, right, the theater program did online plays. And I don't even know how that happened. Like, how did you do that?
Were they good?
Yeah.
I never watched them, but apparently they were all right. It's just I just don't think they like acting is one of those things where it's like I don't know if you can do that online.
Yeah, I mean I'm gonna have to, but I'd much prefer it being in person.
I mean, like, how does that even work? How do you look at somebody else on like a Zoom call? You're looking at everybody all the time. You can't just like turn to somebody and be like, I'm talking to you now.
Yeah, it's kind of just when you get put in like your groups to do your scenes, and then everyone who's not in the scene turns their camera off, and then hopefully the people with the cameras on like pull up. They're the ones that are on the screen, and then you do it. It's kind of lame. I did it like there was a week I think where we went online last semester just because I think someone in one of the other improv classes got COVID or something. So she's like, just to be safe, we're just going to go online for a week. And so that was an experience. I didn't really enjoy it. Online improv is dumb. but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
No.
And I think online vocal instruction is also dumb, but whatever. Here we are.
Well, you do
What
have
about
a
you
mic
guys?
in case.
Yeah, I do have like.
I'm also taking acting this semester, Jip.
So yeah, but you get to go in person, so that's
I do.
nice.
Yeah, and I'm taking Introduction to Speech Communication.
Okay.
Oh, did your
No, I was
debate
just gonna-
credit not count for anything?
Nope.
Your
I
debate
mean,
work?
like,
Or-
there's no AP debate, so.
Yeah. But sometimes you can like protest. Like I had to take a speech class, but then I was like, look at this debate stuff I did, and they're like, okay, that counts.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Damn, I didn't
Yeah.
know you could just
Wow.
do that. What the fuck?
I mean, it's like if you had a job in like finance or something, and then they made you take intro to finance or something, you'd be like, look, I already know this.
Yeah. I mean, like, honestly, I don't really care. Like, I'm just going to show up. They're going to be like, all right, you got to talk about this. I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk about this.
Start pulling out, just like be really bad the first
Dude, I
day, and
swear
for your
to
final
God.
presentation, pull out the block file.
If I show up and they're like, all right, let's debate the Saudi Arabian involvement in Yemen, like, I'll be like, all right, let me tell you about something called foreign aid.
Oh yes, good job, Noah.
But I mean, like, I gotta like continue the legacy, you know?
Dude, of course, dude.
Yeah, I actually-
swear, people.
Speaking of debate, I judged last weekend.
Wait, what?
Nice.
What the fuck?
It was online.
Where?
Capel, which paid pretty well. They paid $250.
Oh
So-
damn!
And,
Tom, you gotta tell us about these things, Tom. I would have fucking judged.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not doing anything.
yeah, well, it was like, yeah, I probably should have, but Houston emailed me about this one. So
Oh wow,
Yeah.
big man.
Yeah,
Houston's
emailing
Houston
you.
emailing you.
So cool.
Alright.
Okay.
It was like-
Okay.
since-
Whoa.
I mean, like, I
Whoa.
didn't realize Jacob Mama knows people. Like,
Yeah.
I do. I'm pretty famous. Man.
okay, I mean, like, I guess like he's just too good for little old us.
Yeah. Well, anyway, there's like since this was like, I don't know if this was before. No, this was like the first weekend of school for like high school kids, right? And is online, so there was only like 20 entries, right? So it was like you don't even, and they had way too many judges, so that you're not even judging every round. But
I mean,
Did you not judge like a single round? Did you judge like
No.
one round?
no, I
You
judged.
like it?
I judged all of prelims and finals.
That's
mean,
not bad.
not bad.
For 250.
Yeah.
That's what a joke. How many prelims were there? 4?
4, yeah.
Yeah, disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
But you want to know the topic? The topic was so funny. It was, should the U.S. Legalize all illicit drugs?
bruh.
What the fuck? What are they doing nowadays? What the hell?
So all these people are talking about like coke and heroin and be like, yeah, this, you know what, this is actually really good for you.
Dude,
People should be like,
I'm just imagining like the kind of like lay judge adaptation that's happening out there, because I guarantee you some high school debater out there, it's like, my mom was a crack addict, and that's relevant to this conversation.
yeah, but like I feel like with a lay judge, it's so hard to win the app side. It's
Dude, it's
so hard
possible.
to
Oh,
say
yeah.
like, yes, we should legalize all illicit drugs.
Bro, no, do you remember that round where there was that girl? I forgot what topic it was, but she is like, my family lost their home in a
That
forest
was the
fire.
very first topic we ever debated. That was South Korea anti-missile
I'm
systems.
actually crying right now.
Grapevine
This is too much.
BB. That was the team code.
Oh god.
I remember that too, because I was sitting there like, she was like, my family's house was on fire. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Shit.
It had nothing to do with anything, but at the end of the round, the judge was like, "Yeah,
Like,
she knows, you know, her own
fucking
family's house was
I'm-
on fire." And I was just like, "Oh my
Yeah, she's like,
god!"
come out here, like, I lost all my possessions. Like, good. I wish the house burned you too. Like,
Facts, man. Except
No,
we're
you
very
just
peaceful here.
roasted
on
them
City
alive
Beyond.
with your speeches.
definitely.
Dude, we rolled them that round. I refuse to hear otherwise.
No, but you know I bring up this debate stuff because pretty much like after like Harvard, like there's no big tournaments that are online. Everything's back to in person. Like TOC's back to in person, State's back to in person.
Yeah.
So like
Honestly, like,
When is Grapevine?
Grapevine's in September.
yeah, what?
What?
Oh wait, I always remember Grapevine's just like start of the semester, but then
I think TFA might. Wait, is TFA in person?
Yeah, it's Texas run. What do you think?
I wonder where they're gonna hold it, because depending on where it is, I might consider going out and trying to judge.
If you go, we can all just go together.
Yeah.
Fucking road trip.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I don't know.
What is it? Yeah, wait, when did you guys spring breaks?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think like TFA is like the second week of March. I'm not sure on that, but if it's the second week of March, it's my first spring break is the first week of March. So
mine is what the first week of March is like in the middle. It starts like in the middle of the week.
The first full week of March.
Mine is also first full week of March.
Yeah, I think TFA might be the second week.
Oh, right.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure on that.
I probably will actually be coming back for spring break.
No shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We'll just go. We'll make a weekend
That's nice.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm down.
Like, to be TFA is like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's so long.
mean, they pay you more, right? Though, like I can't remember how much.
I mean, they don't pay comparatively. Like, if you do by the hour, they pay you less.
Yeah, fair enough.
If you're doing, but how much is it like overall? Do you know?
It's like $350 overall, but then you judge like 12 or 14 rounds.
Yeah, it's really not worth. But
yeah, like the per hour, like the total amount is more, but like the per hour amount is less.
It's to hang out with the boys.
Yeah.
That's why we're out here. I think my stream.
Everything's gonna be flighted, which I hate.
Yeah, we hate flights because we're brown.
God. There's a TSA joke somewhere in there, but I'm not going to try and pull it out.
Yeah, I'm not going to try and find it either. I don't think I'm allowed to, so it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Anyways, we went on quite a tangent there, I think.
I saw...
But we'll continue it. Let's hear it for it.
I saw someone say mashallah IRL for the first time when I went to India. This trip.
To be honest, if I like heard someone do that like seriously, like I don't know, I don't know. I feel like I would do it seriously.
I was like, shit, what the fuck?
How do you say? Do you say like? How are you supposed to say like Allah? Like, is there like an inflection on it, or do you say like Allah?
I don't think it's Allah.
Yo, what up, Allah? my boy Allah up in the sky.
It's like Allah, dude.
There was one time where I saw someone do that at the airport, and then like TSA immediately showed up.
Dude, actually, we did an improv scene last semester where it was like stuff. We were doing like a kind of whose line is it anyway, and she was just like stuff you shouldn't say at the airport, and I just went up and I was like Assalamu alaikum, and everyone just looked at me. I was just like, "Lol." It's true. It's true. Yeah, dude.
I will say one time
enters evasion.
One time, my uncle's college roommate was he was Colombian, right?
Colombia.
And this is like the 90s, and he's coming back from Colombia, and he's bringing a plant, right? And so they ask him, what's the plant? They question him in custom, and he's like, oh, it's just like a regular household plant. And then this guy's like, he's super funny, right? So he's trying to make a joke of this. He's like, it's not just any plant; it's an exploding plant.
What the fuck?
So they take him in, and like the Secret Service comes in, and all these like random dudes come in, and they like take him down, they take the plant, and they're just like, wait, guys, it's just a joke, please.
How stupid do they think people are?
I mean,
you go to customs and be like, yeah, I have an exploding, I have a bomb in my suitcase.
But they have to. Can you imagine if they're just like, he's just joking, and then they blow up the plane with a plant?
Oh my god. Man, dude, that sounds like like I mean I could
but for some reason every time I go through security at the airport, every time they flag me and I have to get pat down.
Yeah, dude, it feels so nice not being...
That's just like a part of being brown.
It feels so nice not being brown and going through the airport. Like,
dude, every time they're just like, random check, and I'm just like, yep, extreme randomness.
It's not even random for me. Like the metal detector always goes off on me, and I'm not wearing metal.
Yeah, the metal detector.
It's always on my inner thighs. Always.
Dude, Bob's hiding a lethal weapon down there.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's just so big, it's classified as a metal.
Dude, like...
Yeah, every time the dude like walks up to me, he's like, So
a nice
I
cock,
can either
bro.
do this right here. I can either do this right here, or we could go to a more private room.
Oh,
And I'm
damn.
like, just do it right here. And so yeah, they like reach around, they make sure there's nothing under your belt, and all. Like, it might be my belt buckle.
It's probably
Actually,
Yeah,
now that I
probably
think
your
of it.
belt buckle.
Dude, why would you not
But,
take
like,
off your
my
belt?
buckle. No,
You're supposed to take off your belt.
Not my belt buckle, my zipper.
Nah,
The zipper's
nah.
metal.
Like,
Yeah.
everyone wears zippers. Like,
Yeah, but I don't know. Well, no,
is
not,
your zipper
not
just like
belt.
the
Belt can
size
take
of
off,
Texas? Like, is it just like enormous down there?
Yeah. It's not. It's just a regular size
Yeah,
zipper.
it's not your zipper thing. It's your massive steel hard schlong.
No, I guess so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
True.
but then they like just take hours to pat you down. And they're like, oh yeah, actually, there's nothing.
You should just make sure, and then just start taking off your pants in the middle of the airport. They'll just be so confused. What are they gonna do? They'll probably arrest you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder, like, there's gotta be like somebody out there who's just like into that, like into like getting just like patted down in front of everyone.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
like I kind of wonder, like, you
100%.
know, what, like, do they like intentionally try to like get like caught by the TSA?
They're just like, oh no, I think I brought some what exploding plants with me. Oopsie daisy.
There's something in my pants and it's highly explosive. You better pat me down, officer. I wonder
God,
if you could actually get away with that. Like, just like
God,
weird,
did we-
like weird out the TSA so hard.
No, they would still just do their job.
This tangent has gone too far, dude. We need to be put away. It's fine. It's fine. What were we talking about? Going back to class. Yay. Class.
It's fine. Nobody's made it this far.
Right.
True.
Right.
True. Except our folks in Europe. I feel like
Yeah,
aren't there
I
some
feel like our European audience is.
our European
not-
audience committed.
Yeah.
If you're still listening to this episode, congratulations. You've won.
You won the game.
What you won? Yet to be seen, but you won. But other than that, what? I mean, I think we're good, guys. We'll update you. We got to go practice for League of Legends because we're
Dude.
like that. But you know the vibes. We're gonna win our tournament tonight. We're gonna report back to you with the next consistent episode. Check them out bi-weekly. That's
But
what we've agreed upon,
thought-
guys. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Oh, bi-weekly is what we said?
Yes, that's what you said.
Okay, yeah. Nice. We can
You
do
agreed
that.
to
We
it.
can do that.
Bi-weekly, bisexual.
So you will see in the next episode of Stating the Obvious whether we won this Clash tournament, whether all our hard work was worth something. With that, thank you guys so much for listening. It's a joy to record these. Make sure to, I'm not going to say smash that like button. What should I say?
Like and-
Annihilate.
Use
like
the
and
code
subscribe.
Disintegrate.
STOPPOD for 20% off.
Disintegrate the like button. Fucking just write a 300-word Times New Roman 12-point font single spaced essay in the comment section, and just what is another thing? I need more, guys. Come on, Noah.
What?
You were popping off with the intro today. You got to give me a word here.
Sexually molest a subscribe button? I don't know.
Sure, dude. That seems a bit problematic. Just press it. Just press the follow button.
Consensually.
Stay
Like,
tuned.
ask us the subscribe button if it's okay with it first. You need like clear consent.
Yes, very good. That's what we like to hear from Noah. All right, ladies and gents, thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.